So good morning, everyone. Nice to see you on this rainy, snowy day. Before we get started, I just want to acknowledge that we're meeting on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of all the First Nations and Native American peoples. So here where I'm in Vancouver on the land of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish nations. I know many of you are on the land of other nations, so please feel free to write those nation names in the chat now if you'd like. And always let's remember our connection to our siblings in these nations. And let's pray for the day in which we might be together in right relationship. So welcome. Welcome to Living Interfaith. Know that the whole of you is welcome. You're not asked to leave who you are in your own homes. Instead, please bring who you are in with you. But what you are asked to remember is that everyone around you has brought who they are in with them as well. And all of goodwill are welcome. To start us out this morning, Bruce and Cheryl have our opening song.
Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of me. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of living. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of living. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again,
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So I have a few announcements for us. First is this coming week is actually Spring Labyrinth Week, which I think is very cool. I didn't even know that that was a thing until Rachel told me. So it's this coming Monday through Friday. And to celebrate in downtown Vancouver at Christ Church Cathedral, their labyrinth is going to be open every day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then so folks can go in, it's free and open. You can use the labyrinth if you'd like at any time. And then on Friday, there'll actually be a performance. So that'll be at 7:30 p.m. on Friday, March 21st. And there will be music by the cellist singer Byron Hansen. So anyone who's interested can join that. Also, next Saturday, March 22nd, the Sri Mahalakshmi Temple will be holding its annual Holi celebration. I know Rachel and I went a couple years ago. It's super fun. It's going to be in Burnaby at the Michael J. Fox Theater. It includes dinner at 5 o'clock and then cultural shows and dancing and music and really big celebration at 6:30 p.m. So the tickets are $30 to $35 and you can sign up here if you're interested. And if anyone in this group wants to go, we can organize a little group to go. So here, I'm just going to put the link in the chat. So that should be fun. And then finally, on Tuesday, April 1st, Canadian Memorial United Church, where I also work, we'll be holding our first monthly potluck and board game puzzle night. So that's free and open to everybody. So it's going to be Tuesday night from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Center for Peace in Vancouver, kind of on the corner of Burrard and 16th. So anyone who wants can bring a dish or a board game or a puzzle, and it'll be just a fun open event for everybody. So those are my announcements. Does anybody else have any interfaith events or announcements that they'd like to share? Yes, Samir?
This is not an interfaith announcement, so maybe I don't know if I should or should not announce it, but I always mention when the repair cafes are coming up. The next one, the next Vancouver Repair Cafe is is next Sunday, the 23rd. I believe, the 23rd at Trout Lake Community Center. I will not be volunteering at this one most likely because of Laylatul Qadr, so I'll be up, all night in prayer. But if any of you guys want to get things fixed, they fix, small appliances, textiles, bikes, computers and electronics, and other kind of general things that you bring in, and they fix them for free. And then the other announcement I had was I'm going to be starting a WhatsApp group that will allow us that I will use to repost details about upcoming interfaith events, and that can also be used for people to self-organize if they want to go with other people from the community. So if you're interested just in being added to the WhatsApp group, just send me a private message in Zoom and I'll make sure you're added.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Samir. Anything else? All right, let's come into silence. We'll do our opening prayer. So this is actually a poem from a poet who goes by the name Whispering Thoughts, and it's called "What Does the Guru Mean to You?" Intense be the sunlight, like 1,000 suns shining together. Immense be the luminescence, that of 100 moons. And yet, even with all this radiance, this gleam and glare, we wander benighted without the Guru's grace.
Now I have a candle lighting prayer, and Kathy is going to light the candle for us. This is written by a young girl in Mumbai, and it's called Prayer for the New Year. Dear Waheguru, you always taught us to forgive because you are in all creatures, in all living beings. So help us to be willing to forgive ourselves and to forgive one another. Help us to love and to learn how to accept to be loved too. Help us to give and receive the best of ourselves. As we begin a new year, remind us of our truest values and our deepest desires. Help us to live in the goodness that comes from doing what you want us to do. Help us to put aside anxiety about the future and the past, so that we might live in peace with you, now at the present time. May you, Waheguru, make our new year a happy one, not by shielding us from sorrow and pain, but by strengthening us to bear it if it comes. Not by making our path easy, but by making us sturdy enough to tread any path. Not by taking hardship from us, but by taking all cowardice and fear from our hearts as we meet hardships. Not by granting us unbroken sunshine, but by keeping our faces bright even in the shadows. Not by making our life always pleasant, but by showing us where men and his cause need us the most, and by making us zealous to be there and to help. Waheguru, make our year a happy, blessed, and auspicious one. Satnam.
Beautiful. Thank you, Rachel. And now feel free to unmute if you'd like, and we'll offer one another a sign of peace. So peace, everyone. So good to be with you today.
Peace unto all.
Allow pa, everybody.
Everyone and kitten cuddles.
Peace,
everyone.
Salam alaikum.
Peace be with you.
Sat Sri Akal.
Comfort, peace.
Peace, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. And when they're ready, Bruce and Cheryl will have another song for us.
Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru,
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Now, if you'll join me in our joint affirmation, we come together in peace. We sing together with joy and with love. We worship together in one house, a house with names beyond number. Our paths are many, our beliefs are as leaves, and the tree that we cleave to is nourished by the light of compassion, justice, and mutual respect. May our lives, our beliefs, and our actions help to bring about the world of love we all seek. And let it begin here. Now we're going to take a few minutes to meditate before we go into our prayers. So feel free to assume a posture, whatever posture feels comfortable for you. If you want to make sure your back is straight, if you're sitting on a chair, you can put your legs down so your feet rest on the floor. Or if you're on a bed, you can stretch your legs out in front of you. If it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes or turn your gaze slightly downward. Don't worry about having a focused, your eyesight being focused. Just take a few deep breaths together, breathing in and breathing out. When we breathe in, see if our out breath can be slightly longer than the in breath to help relax our body. As we take these breaths, notice where we have any tension in our body. Notice how our temples feel, if our neck is stiff, if we need to roll our shoulders back at all. Straighten our back, or if our hips feel tight. Notice the area around your heart and also down in your stomach. We often carry a lot of grief in our chest, a lot of fear and anger in our stomach. Notice how these areas feel right now. When Bruce and Cheryl were singing Vaheguru, that's bringing the light into darkness, the one who brings the light into darkness. So wherever you feel that tension, any discomfort, any upset, any strong emotions you might be feeling in those areas, imagine breathing in peace and relaxation, a soothing energy. Breathe it in right into those areas. As you breathe out, imagine expelling any tension, anxiety, grief, or sadness. Breathe in healing and comfort. And breathe out pain and suffering. Breathing in, knowing that you're connected to all beings, that all of us can always access this light all around us, within ourselves. As you breathe out all discomfort, knowing you too can expel this, be shot through with light. And now let's take a couple minutes to pray. Feel free to pray for any beings or places or causes or any concerns you have in your heart. Let's now pray that these may all also be filled with light and healing and goodness. When you're ready, open your eyes. Bruce and Cheryl have another song for us.
Ik angar satnam kartapurak nirbo nirver kalmarat ajuni sabam gur prasad. Ik angar satnam kartapurak nirbo nirver kalmarat ajuni sabam gur prasad. Ik ankar satnam kartapurak nirbo nirver kalmarat ajuni sabam gur prasad. Ik ankar satnam kartapurak nirbo nirver kalmarat ajuni sabam gur prasad. Ik ankar satnam kartapurak nirbo nirver kalmarat ajuni sabam gur prasad. Ik ankar satnam kartapurak nirbo nirver kalmarat ajuni sabam gur prasad. Ik ankar satnam kartapurak nirbo nirver kalmarat ajuni sabam gur prasad. Ik ankar satnam kartapurak nirbo nirver kalmarat ajuni sabam gur prasad.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It's actually so neat that you picked that as the next song, because a couple years ago when we were working with Sukhvinder Kaur Vinning, she led a half-day meditation using those. And so each meditation was about 15 minutes. And so you'd meditate and you'd be chanting that part, just that part of it. And then you take some time to journal about what does it mean for truth to be one, or for the being to be one, for there to be truth, fearlessness, and going through each one and going deeper and deeper. It was really amazing. So if I ever hear about another one of those, I'll definitely let you all know because it was really powerful. So normally we would take a little break now just to share with one another. I do want to make sure we have time for that at the end for folks who want to stay, because I really miss my time connecting with all of you. But we are experimenting with moving that time to the end, just so that if the speakers have to go earlier, they don't feel like, oh, I should probably hurry up what I'm saying today, so that I can get out in time. So we'll do that at the end, the sharing of our hearts. But instead, right now, I'll just remind everyone, I'll put our donation page in the chat. I know so many of you donate to support our community, and we're so grateful. And one of the things that we support by donating to this is Rachel, our fantastic managing director, Rachel, who I just have to lift up, just completed her thesis paper last night and turn it in, and is about to defend it in 2 weeks, and will be getting her what is it? It's the pastoral care degree. So she's been focusing on spiritual care. So thank you. So all of the donations go to support our community and wonderful spiritual work we do as an interfaith congregation. I don't think you'll find very many interfaith congregations in the world. So we really appreciate you joining ours and helping support us and supporting really awesome work that's being done, including with Rachel, who I believe the paper, I have to read it, but I believe it's on contemplative practice in like care homes and in work that are with older folks. Is that right, Rachel?
Contemplative space and hospital setting.
Amazing. So, and I bet if you want to read it, she might put that out there, but I'll leave that up to her. So yes, so thank you for all that you donate to support this community and all the other gifts you bring, like your fantastic prayers and your help running things and the wonderful songs and meditations from Bruce and Cheryl. And so now they have a song for us, and then I will soon be turning it over to Surjit. So when you're ready, Bruce and Cheryl.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Wonderful. And now it's my joy to turn it over to Surjit Singh. He's an electrician and a volunteer at Darbar Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji and Gobind Sarvar in Surrey, BC. He's an advocate for sharing knowledge and inspiration with the next generation. And I can say that Rachel and Dorley met him a couple weeks ago as part of a World Interfaith Harmony event at the Ahmadiyya Masjid down in Delta. And I always enjoy when we have our interfaith friends. Like I have some friends who are, I myself am Buddhist, and I have like Muslim friends and Hindu friends, or like Hindu friends and Baha'i friends who I only ever see at this particular mosque. And so it always makes me so happy that like our interfaith group, we met him to speak on a Sikh holiday at a mosque. So it's wonderful. So thanks for joining us. And when you're ready, over to you.
Thank you for that introduction, Kathy, and thank you everyone for having me here talk about Sikh New Year. So yeah, my name is Surjit Singh, and I am from the Gurdwara Darbar Shri Guru Nanak Sahib Ji. It's located in Surrey, and of course, I also live in Surrey, BC here. So I'm an electrician by profession, and I've been learning about Sikhi for about 15 years now. You know, thinking back on that, like I kind of feel a little bit sad sometimes when I think that even before that, I didn't really pay any attention to it. I didn't learn how to read or write. But in the past 15 years, I've been blessed to been taught how to read and write Gurbani, Gurmukhi, which is the language that's spoken in Sikhi, and it's also this language that's the scripture is written in. So as I started learning the language, I also started learning and reading into like Sikh history, which led me to teach the history to young youth at the Gurdwara here in Surrey. And these kids would just come to the Gurdwara in the evening. They kind of like, you know, we're kids. So when you go to a place of faith, you really don't know what to do. Your parents kind of just be like, hey, go ahead, do this. But you really don't know what you're doing there. So there we have a night school called Gobind Sarvar, and I've been volunteering there for about 15 years as well. So we talk to these kids, we teach them about Sikhi, we teach them about how to read and write, we teach them the instruments that we play. Yeah, so it's been a really amazing journey. And as I learned more and more about Sikhi, I've come to realize that Sikhi focuses a lot on meditation, which is really neat to see here, that how we all meditated together is really amazing. And we practice meditation pretty much as we can, mornings, evenings, daytime, whenever we get the chance. So meditation is practiced, right? And there's Sikhs out there who are engrossed in the name of the Lord and can meditate on his name 24/7, right? There's a Gurbani line, so it's from the Holy Scripture. It says, Saas, Saas Simro, Gobind, Man Antar Ki Utre Chind. So with each and every breath, so that breath is Saas, with breath, meditate in remembrance on Gobind, Lord of the universe, and all the anxiety within your mind shall depart. So by no means, I'm no expert. I'm still learning a lot about Sikhi. I have still a long way to go. Being here 15 years, I feel like I know nothing still compared to what's out there, all the knowledge and the history that's out there. But it's become a passion of mine to share my knowledge and what I know, my experiences with the youth around me, and teach them what I've learned from meditation. So over the years of meditation has honed my awareness of myself. Meditation has changed me inside, outside a lot. I catch myself getting like, angry before I say wrong words to somebody. Like I don't, I see that myself going that direction, and I just step back and just calm down. I've seen how meditation has helped me through with my stress levels due to like just work or like home stuff, everything else, right? And I also see myself being more aware how to engage in difficult situations, like dealing with people at work or dealing with people at like, the Gurdwara or at even home, right? So family and friends and stuff. And I've been invited here to talk about the Sikh New Year, which was actually yesterday. Sikhs follow the Nanakshahi calendar, in which the months are staggered by about 15 days compared to the Gregorian calendar. And that is widely followed which is widely followed in the world. Yesterday was the first day of the month called Chet, and this marks the Sikh New Year. Basically, like from what I know, and I also research online, Sikhs don't really celebrate New Year. Every year when the new harvest starts, when the Sikhs, start preparing for the new season crops, that's kind of what marked the New Year for Sikhs back in Punjab in India. So now it's like celebrated around the same time as Vaisakhi. As in all communities, the New Year marks a time of like reflection and inspiration. In Sikh history, the fifth former Guru Nanak Dev Ji wrote a composition called Bara Maha, which speaks about the 12 months. In there, Guruji says, Chet Gobind Aradhya Hove Anand Kana. They say in the month of Chet, which is March, deep joy arises by meditating on God. They inspire us to remember God to reach a state of bliss. Next, they say, Sant Jana Mil Paiye Rasna Nam Pana. The Lord is found by meeting with his saints and disciples and remembering God's name. The hymns in Guru Granth Sahib Ji are poems, and Guruji calls us all his saints. So these lines are not just poetic verses, but timeless instructions on how to live a life full of devotion. As we gather today, this event represents what Guru Nanak Dev Ji instructed us to do: sit in congregation and remember the Lord. This is the essence of Sikhi, and it's an opportunity to reconnect and reflect on our spiritual journey. On the topic of New Year marking a time of inspiration for positive change, I'd like to talk about one thing that has made a great impact on me in the past year. So this past year, like I said, I have so much to learn still. So this past year, I made a point to dedicate more time to reading Gurbani, our holy text, as well as learning it more in depth. I started taking a class where I learned Gurbani from a teacher twice a week. This has brought me a huge positive change in my life, where I now feel more connected to my soul. I'm more aware of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's teachings on a day-to-day basis, and I'm more conscious about implementing them. For example, as I work as an electrician, when you're working in construction, you listen to different various types of musics. And I kind of started realizing what different music and different style had impacted me. As I worked, I started listening more to Kirtan, which are hymns from Gurbani, which are sung, right? As I work, now I find myself like remembering more, remembering God more, singing his praises in my mind without even trying sometimes. And this constant connection to God through his name has brought me like more peace and more purpose and closer to Guru Granth Sahib Ji, right? Our holy scripture. From my Gurbani classes, I learned that Gurbani is very, very deep and it's written as poetry, which can be difficult to understand. Even if you understand all of the words, you need to know how to connect dots and understand the emotion behind the words. One example I'll give is the line, Nanak chinta mat karo, chinta tis hi hai. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji tells us not to worry. God is taking care of you. He's showing us that God is really taking care of us. He is in our best, he has our best interest in mind, and whatever is unfolding in life is meant to take us into the person we're meant to become. Any obstacle is just a chisel for our souls to be molded into a beautiful being. I'd like to talk about one more line. It's Gaviye suniye man rakhiye pao, dukh par har sukh kar le jaye. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji is talking about singing and listening here, promising that if you sing and you listen to hymns with all your heart, he takes away your pains and replaces them with joy. For instance, the singing that Bruce and Cheryl did, we all listened to it together, right? And then we all felt a lot calmer and a lot more, more peaceful after. So that's kind of an example of Gaviye, which means sing, and Suniye, which means listen. And then one key thing here is listening. So one question for all the husbands here, what is the main complaint that most of our wives have about us, right? Is we need to listen better. I find myself having that trouble too. Sometimes it just, in and out sometimes. And my wife yells at me a few times. But when we are listening attentively with our own thoughts racing in our minds, we are practicing a form of meditation. The act of listening with full presence calms the mind and brings peace. And we did some very nice meditations earlier. And I also had one meditation that I do quite often throughout the day. And so, sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit more stressful, I do this as well. So I'd like to have everyone here participate in a quick in that session, right? This is just a simple practice that anyone can do. And I promise it will help you feel more connected to the present moment. And I'll describe what we're gonna do, and then we'll all just do it together. So everybody will just take a comfortable position, right? Try not to have your back rested on your seat wherever you're sitting as best as you can. And then we're gonna close our eyes and we're gonna take a very long, deep breath, right? And then hold that breath for as long as we can, and then breathe out very slowly. And as you're holding the breath, you can do two things. You can either focus on your heartbeat, or you can, while you're focusing on your heartbeat, you can say Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru. So is everybody clear on that? Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we'll practice that for a couple of minutes. So everybody close your eyes and then just sit at the most comfortable position and then take a very deep breath. So exhale very slowly and then just repeat the process. So take another deep breath. So when I do this practice on a day-to-day basis, mostly when I'm like I said, when I feel a little bit stressed out or I'm entering a situation or I know when I'm going to enter a situation that kind of is a little gives me anxiety or it's a little bit stressful. So I will do this practice. I will for like, a minute or two, and it completely calms down all my nerves. And it kind of blocks out all the noise too, right? It kind of puts me on a straight line on what I need to do next. So feel free to, practice this in your lives whenever you feel like it. It has impacted me and changed me a lot. But yeah, any questions or anything about that, just let me know afterwards. We could discuss that. Yeah, I think that is it for me on talks about that. Just want to thank everyone for the opportunity and having me here today, and Rachel for reaching out, and Kathy for setting all this up and everything. I really do appreciate it, and all these different events that I've been to with the interfaith events. I'm super excited to be more connected with the different communities and the different faiths and the different religions so that we can learn from each other. I definitely have a lot to learn from everybody else, and it keeps me open-minded about the world, right? So thank you again for inviting me. Yeah, so Kathy, back to you.
It was great. Thank you so much. I feel very relaxed now. So that was so centered. Thank you.
No worries.
So Bruce and Cheryl have one more song for us, and then I'll do a closing prayer. And then if anyone has any questions, we can do a little Q&A, and then we'll do more of a sharing of our hearts, just kind of connecting with one another. So when you're ready, Bruce and Cheryl.
Chet Gobind Radhiye, Chet Gobind Radhiye, Hove Anand Gana, Hove Anand Gana, Chet Gobind Radhiye, Chet Gobind Radhiye, Hove Anand Gana, Hove Anand Gana, Sant Juna Mile Paaye, Sant Juna Mile Paaye, Rasna Naam Bana, Rasna Naam Bana, Chet Gobind Radhiye. Segana, Jinnapaya Prabhapana, Ayati Segana, Ikkinat Sabinan Jeevana, Birta Jana Machana. Sabina Jeevana, Ikkinat Sabina Jeevana, Birta Janama Jana, Birta Janama Jana, Chet Gobind Radhiye. Male ale puria, Ravi Shivana Jalatala Mahiyala Puria Raviya Vichivana Soprabhachitna Kitera Duke Gana Soprabhachitna Soprabhachitna Kitera Duke Gana Kitera Dukana Cheta Govinda Radhiye Jinni Raviya So Prabhu Dina Bhagamana Jinni Raviya So Prabhu Dina Bhagamana Hardarsan Ko Manelo Cheda Nanaka Pyase Mana Darsan Ko Manelo Cheda Darasana Koman Locheda Nanaka Pyasamana Nanaka Pyasamana Cheta Milaye So Bravo Cheta Milaye So Bravo Tisake Laga Tisake Bhai Laga Tisake Bhai Laga
That was amazing. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. You two are incredible. It was so beautiful. So, friends, yeah, Happy New Year. It's a wonderful time. Please take these teachings with you when you can. Focus on your breath. Take a few minutes just to center, to connect with spirit. And to close out this service, I actually wanted to quote my favorite poet, my favorite poem from Kabir, the Indian mystic, who's quoted in the Guru Granth Sahib. He has this funny poem. You'll have to think on it. He says, "Brother, I've seen some astonishing sights. A lion keeping watch over pasturing cows. A mother delivered after her son was. A guru prostrated before his disciple. Fish spawning on treetops. A cat carrying away a dog. A gunny sack driving a bullock cart. A buffalo going out to graze, sitting on a horse. A tree with its branches in the earth, its roots in the sky. A tree with flowering roots. This verse, says Kabir, is your key to the universe, if you can figure it out."